You're listening to the Screenmen Society Podcast, where nothing on screen will ever go unseen. Here's your host, Jack Clayton.
What is up, Screenman Alert Nation? I'm your host, Jay to the Clay. Let's get right into the pods. It's the Screenmen Society Podcast. Welcome back, everybody.
Horrible. Yeah. That hurt my ears so bad.
Well, I needed an opener, and you weren't helping me anyway. But yeah, welcome back to the Screenmen Society Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Jack Clayton. Today, we are going to try and redo last week's episode of Free Talk Friday. And I've got a stellar panel with us today to discuss it. First up, he goes by the name Ajax now. It's Ajax.
Oh, hello. Hi.
Ajax.
Yeah. My teacher mistakenly said my name wrong.
She said Ajax?
Yeah, it was completely off. I don't know.
She reads it A-B-E-L.
No, she
Ajax.
just said, like, she was calling on people, and she was like, Ajax, you should read this. And then I didn't know she meant me until, like, there was an awkward silence that we had to read, and then she was just, like, staring at me, and I was like, my name is Abel? She was like, oh, sorry.
Some guy in the crowd named Rick. Hello, Mikey. Mikey, read this. My name's Rick. That's not even close. Yeah. Dylan. My name's Dave.
And then next up, he's wearing a Pikachu hat, so I wonder what he's going to want to talk about today. It's the original gamer girl, John Spurgeon.
What's going on, everybody? I'm here to talk about Cheers.
I noticed that you were playing that on your stream last night.
Yeah. I was playing the Cheers theme song because it's a classic and opening. Like, it's so funny because the show's not very good. Like, I don't like the show that much.
Sure.
But I think that the theme song for Cheers and this, well, yeah, I think the theme song for Cheers is one of the best TV show theme songs of all time. Like, I would say Adventure Time is one. Parks and Rec and The Office have some great intros. Yeah. And then Cheers. For some reason, no, Game of Thrones just it doesn't have this.
What are you talking about? Have you ever seen the
I've
intro?
seen the intro. Like some of them have like just a certain soul, and I feel like just like those shows nail the soul.
I'm trying to. Okay, I remember the Parks and Rec one. It's been a while since I've watched Parks and Rec. I watched it when I watched it on Netflix, but then I finished it and I just never watched it again.
That was a good show.
It is a good show.
What's funny is this is the water I brought in last week when we did this.
Are you serious?
And I forgot.
And he just picked it up and took a drink out of it.
That's gross.
No, because like it's all the way full. Like it's literally the exact same how I left it.
Weird. That means no one else has been in here.
J. Clay, you should end the
That
podcast
means that this is officially the Screenmen Society Studio podcast studio.
J. Clay, you should end the podcast today with the Cheers theme song.
Just
cut us out.
I'm not gonna do that because
as it fades away, ba-da-da-da-dun-dun, making my way in the world today.
We'll probably get we'll get copyright claimed on that, so I'm definitely not gonna do that.
Hey, we can't get copyright claimed. We're on
It's a
SoundCloud.
podcast.
Yeah, we're on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
We can do whatever we want.
Are we sure about that?
We're not on
Yes,
YouTube.
This is true.
Unless you put this on YouTube, yeah, we will be fine.
I'll consider it. But yeah, today we are going to be doing our second ever episode of Free Talk Friday. I think the
Woo!
Jesus.
Can I get a hell yeah in chat?
No, but thanks, John. Glad you're here today. No, but I think the first one we did was pretty good. We talked about some pretty fun stuff. And John, you, me, and my brother last Tuesday did one. However, all the audio for it got corrupted. So
My wee hurt from that.
Good to know. But yeah, so we're going to retry it today. And yeah, we'll just talk about whatever we want. But before we do that, you've probably noticed that we have been doing less podcasts lately. And there is a reason for that. It's not just because we're a bunch of lazy people, which is true. We are all lazy. But we're all still in college, and finals are coming up, and the end of the semester is coming up, and we're all about to get really busy. So we had all decided that we're only going to do one podcast a week until the semester's over, just so that it's not taking up too much of the rest of our time. Also, if it ends up going well and it's a deal of quality over quantity, we may just stick with it through the summer. So You guys let us know what you think of it. Do you like the 2 a week? Do you like the 1 a week? Let us know on Twitter or Facebook or wherever you want to reach us. So that's all I have to say about that. Is there anything that you guys want to get off your chest?
Let's get the ball rolling. Sonic trailer came out this past week.
Yes, it did.
And everybody hated it.
Yeah, I'm just not seeing enough bulge in the bottom blue area.
Oh, wow.
By his crotch.
That's what did it for you.
That's what did it for
You're just
me.
like,
Jay Clay's got so much to edit out now.
It's whatever. It's whatever.
All right,
but,
I'll
yeah.
be appropriate from now on.
I appreciate that.
Here's the thing, though. I was watching the trailer and I felt split because clearly this movie isn't good when Sonic's in it, which is ironic because it's the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. But any scene that Jim Carrey was in, I kind of liked it. I thought he was really funny. I think Jim Carrey is one of those people that, like, when he does his humor, it's like super like slapstick style, kind of old, like it's very nostalgic of like the 90s 2000s, that where he was like just so good at doing this type of stuff. So I actually really liked his parts in it,
Especially at the end where he looks like Eggman.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty dope.
Yeah.
But even with when he has like hair and stuff, it's a different take, and I don't mind it. It's Jim Carrey. He's gonna knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
I actually saw like a meme where it was like a news thing, and it was like Jim Carrey hospitalized, requires back surgery after carrying the entire movie.
Literally, I saw that.
Yeah, that's exactly what's gonna be.
I want to remind everyone that there was a live-action Grinch movie that Jim Carrey was in, and it was awful.
What are you talking
How
about?
dare you?
How dare you?
It was the worst Grinch movie. Well, I don't
There's
know.
only
I never
been
saw the
two-
I never
new
saw the
one?
new animated one, but
That's all right.
the original
I hear
was
it's
a lot better.
basically the same.
Yeah, but I didn't like Jim Carrey in that role.
It's one of the most iconic
He was
Christmas
also
movies.
in The Mask, which was not a great movie. Gonna go out on a limb.
Okay, he did Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, but that was a good movie.
You want to know one of his most underrated roles is in The Incredible Burt Wonderstone, which is also a very underrated movie. If you haven't seen it, it's Steve Carell, Steve Buscemi, and Jim Carrey. It's about magicians in Vegas. It's really funny, and it really like underdid at the box office and whatnot. But it's, I think, a really good movie. And he has a really funny performance in that. There's one line in that, I'm not going to say what it is because spoilers, obviously, but there's one line that every time I hear it, it just makes me laugh like crazy. It's just one of those funny lines. So yeah, I do think, I don't know, maybe this is a, what's the word I'm looking for? This is
an emoji movie part 2.
This is not an
If
emoji
you
movie
ask
part
me.
2. Because
this is going to be one of the worst movies that's ever come out. If they fix
Well,
it, I don't care.
that brings me to-
Sonic is a terrible character since the original games, besides Sonic Mania. I mean, it's like it's not even a good enough video game franchise to make a movie about.
I don't know about
Especially
that.
because like there's no world building in the Sonic universe.
Yeah.
Like there is the good guy Sonic and the bad guy Dr. Eggman and the in between, which is Knuckles. And so it's
And
like
Shadow.
you've got a very thin plot to begin with, and now you're doing the classic video game movie trope. There's a portal to our world that he entered through, and the government's got to stop him and shoot him up, and we gotta get a special guy to kill him because we don't have the power.
If you think about it, the government in the Sonic games is way worse than the government is
It's
nowadays.
super bad.
They're like dictatorship type,
Yeah.
like especially like in Sonic Adventure.
Yes.
They are like
What do they even do in that movie? Like, they don't do anything, really.
they just try to shoot everyone up.
Yeah.
In that and
Or
Shadow
just
the
like-
Hedgehog. Shadow the Hedgehog especially.
Straight up has a gun.
Yeah,
Mario doesn't play political. This is why we play Mario.
that's true. But I do want to read something because after the trailer came out, everyone's like, this sucks. And the director of the movie, Jeff Fowler, took to Twitter and said, the message is loud and clear. You aren't happy with the design and you want changes. It's going to happen. Everyone at Paramount and Sega are fully committed to making the character the best he can be. What that entails, who knows?
Yeah.
They could completely change it. They could do the bare minimum and just get rid of something. minute about it, but we can all agree that the design for Sonic in this movie
It's not good.
it's not good. Like I've seen
It looks like a guy in a suit
It
wearing Sonic, but it's CGI.
It looks like Jim Carrey had a baby with like a bear, and then painted it blue. He got some spray paint and painted it blue, and now it's that.
people
like,
are saying that this
monstrosity.
is a secret sequel to Hop, the movie that Jeff Marsden did with the Easter Bunny years ago. Because Jeff Marsden is in this exact same movie, and there's like a shot comparison where James Marsden is in a car with the bunny. I never saw the movie, so I don't know the name.
Yeah.
But then the next shot is James Marsden with Sonic in the car. It's almost the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's like they watched Hop and like, this is how we're gonna do this.
Did you see the trailer where it was like every hero has a genesis, quote unquote?
Oh yeah, no, I
was
thought
a
that was
nod.
kind of fun.
Yeah.
It was.
I don't have much like good that I noticed from this trailer. I was just kind of in pain the whole
Just
time.
kinda like, yeah.
Well,
I
But,
didn't
like,
like
that-
it's not going to be a trailer I watch again either. Like because I
Sure.
don't care. Like there's nothing that's going to get me to the movie unless I get a free ticket, which I don't work at the Warren anymore, so I'm not going to get a free ticket.
Unless you go with us.
Yeah, I
Like,
could
we
just
should
sneak
go.
in.
I'm gonna admit I'm never gonna be able to listen to Gangster's Paradise the same way
Ah,
ever again.
that song was not good
It was
before.
not.
That song is terrible.
It is not. You take that.
That song
back.
is terrible.
You take that back
That
right
song is
now.
terrible. They
You're
used to play that
terrible.
at football games when we were playing, and I'd be like, "Oh my god, please stop!" Like we'd be coming out onto the field, living in a gangster. I'm like, I just want to go back in the locker room. I'm done. That
You
ruined
played
my day.
football?
Dude? Yeah,
What position were you?
safety.
Oh.
You were a safety?
I got the wheels, boy. I'm fast as Keemstar
Did
says.
you knock some?
No, I'm too short.
Yeah.
I just usually stopped them when they were going
Oh.
because I played for Circle and we were 0-9 every year. So.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Our school wasn't good either.
Yeah, my school.
Oh yeah, we can't talk. East was
It
terrible.
was so bad.
Yeah, I hated going to football games.
I never
too.
went to a single game.
Like,
it was kind of sad. It was kind of
Missing
sad.
out. You guys are missing out.
not really.
You guys would have killed us. We were 0-9 like 10 years in a row.
Dang.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to start really going to football games after I graduated because my brother started playing football when he was a freshman.
No.
So I had to go
way.
back to them, and I'm like, oh, this is terrible. But luckily, he made varsity his sophomore year.
What?
So yeah,
Wow.
he's good. I'll give him that.
That's good.
He's really good.
What does he play?
He's
Linebacker,
he's a lineman.
Okay.
Wait, which one?
Luke
Oh, Luke.
Cringelord. Yes.
Yeah, he's senior.
No, he's a sophomore.
Oh, sophomore.
No. Will's Singapore Crab is a senior.
Gotcha.
We're talking about my brothers, if no one knows.
All right. By the way, I was looking up Jeff Fowler's movie, like what he's done before.
Sure.
I was super interested. I was thinking about it when you guys were talking about
No,
it.
yeah.
His second most famous movie is called Go for Broke. Made in 2004.
Oh.
Other than that, he's got one other movie, and it's called A Gentleman's Due. It was 8 minutes. A Gentleman's Duel. It was an 8-minute short. Actually, both of these are shorts. He's never made a full feature-length movie.
He was a visual effects artist on Where the Wild Things Are.
Wow. I mean, he might be good at visual effects, but he's directing a Sonic movie.
This guy doesn't have much,
So-
feature-wise to his name.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to bring up. So like everybody's been hating on Sonic the Hedgehog, and I think it's deserved. I think it's very apparent when you see like posters and stuff that like Paramount and whatever influence Sega did. It's just not authentic. Like you can kind of tell, like, oh, we're just kind of doing this because it's now a 2000s trope to bring nostalgia into movies, and I feel like people are kind of being like, no, like we want good stuff. And so like the opposite of that is Detective Pikachu, because it's going to come out within the same year.
Oh, and it looks so good.
It looks so different. Like when the first trailer came out, everybody was blown away. They were like, "Oh, this could actually be good." And then with every new trailer, like it's
just looks
actually
better.
been really
Like the Pokemon are just like for Sonic they had to do one character design. They
Yeah.
had to get one character design right.
Right.
Literally one. And for Pokemon they did like 90 Pokemon.
Yeah.
And they did them so faithfully
Yeah.
and so accurately.
Yeah.
Like oh my gosh, every Pokemon you can find in those trailers just looks perfect to their source material. And it's not like Sonic's a hard character to match.
Yeah.
Like compared to like Rowlet or Mime.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like not even close.
Yeah.
And I don't understand what's going on with Sega and Paramount over there. Just like I just look at any of these Pokemon from Detective Pikachu and I'm like, oh man, they look so great. Like
when they have Ludi Kuno.
Yeah, they just look so good.
And super funny.
Lickitung, yeah. They all look so good.
Yeah.
Like they literally all look so good. And Mimette.
I know some people
or whatever
on Charizard.
Yeah.
But like I feel like that's what Charizard would look like if it was real.
Because
like
they made him look a
scaly
little bit
lizard.
scaly, and like skinny. He looks like he has some coarse skin, which
Yeah.
makes sense. But Sonic the Hedgehog, I mean, he looks like Ben Shapiro and a hedgehog. I mean, I mean, and okay. So he's got the voice of John Ralphio from Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because
Who is
But it
doing
doesn't even
Sonic?
sound like him.
And
It honestly doesn't
to me,
even
it
sound
did.
like him.
Immediately when I heard it, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I hate that guy in Parks and Rec."
It's
so.
Ben Schwartz, right?
Ben
Yeah.
Schwartz, yep.
I
It honestly, I don't know. It just didn't
only know him from Parks and Rec, so I
say.
guess
Or
He was in
he's-
DuckTales.
he was
from
the
2017 version.
he's like the manager for Gay Eminem in The Interview. I know that.
I've never seen the.
You've
Interview.
never seen? Oh, it's
No.
a funny movie.
No, I haven't seen
good.
the Interview. I've missed a lot. I play more video games than I watch movies, so
Yeah,
there's
we
a
know.
lot of movies I
So
don't
this
see.
is in your alley.
There's a lot of movies I don't see. Yeah. Okay. So Detective Pikachu is going to be the greatest video game movie of all time. Like that.
I think it
I
will.
mean, it already is.
Yeah.
It already is. Like I haven't even seen it. It already is. I already like. There's
fair to
no
say.
way it's not. I can't think of anything else
Yeah.
that's been good.
We've had that discussion before of like what was the best.
We have a new champ,
video game.
and we possibly have a new worst.
Yeah.
Like I feel like this could beat out the Mario movie for the worst video game movie of all time.
Ooh, that's
I
a
mean, I guess
bar.
actually the Mario movie's probably not even the worst. Like there's.
Really?
I
I
mean,
guess I haven't really seen it.
I haven't
but-
seen the Resident Evil ones, but I've heard really bad things. Actually, I haven't seen the Mario one either,
Yeah.
but I've just heard really bad
Yeah.
things.
You know which one's really underrated though is Prince of Persia, with
I
Jake
saw that
Gyllenhaal.
once. I think on
Yeah,
DVD.
but Detective Pikachu's gonna beat it.
Well,
I've
without a
seen
doubt,
that. I've
but
seen
I
that
feel-
one. Yeah, but
No, yeah, but that one gets way too much hate. I feel it's a
I've-
fun action movie.
it's an Assassin's Creed.
Tomb Raider.
movie.
Hey, shut up!
Tomb
Assassin's
Raider-
Creed was terrible.
No, but
pretty
no,
bad.
I'm saying Prince of Persia is the Assassin's Creed movie that we never got.
Oh yeah, sure,
Yeah.
sure, sure. Yeah, and then the Alicia Vikander Tomb Raider I thought was
Yeah.
pretty solid as well.
And the Angelina Jolie one, like
Yeah.
it's not good, but like it's a guilty pleasure for people. Like,
Sure.
I
you
haven't
can
seen.
watch that.
I haven't seen any of the Tomb Raider movies, but I do not assume they will be better than Detective Pikachu.
Probably not. That's a
I
safe
gotta
bet.
I gotta stick up for my boy Detective Pikachu.
Do you think Detective Pikachu will make $1.22 billion on its opening weekend?
Not a ch-
No,
well,
I actually do
well,
think though. I do think that Detective Pikachu will be in the top 25 highest-grossing movies of all time
Ooh.
because of how well it's going to do in Japan.
I do think that it
I
could
do
make a
think it'll
billion.
make-
It's
a
going to
huge
kick
hit in
butt
Japan.
in Japan.
I do think that it could make.
Do you think it'll be
$1
good in China? Because I know China has kind of like
I don't
their
know.
things,
I
which
don't
Chinese
really know what's
things,
going
so-
on in China besides
Yeah.
communism. Like that's all I know about China and
Oh
the
my
fact
God.
the fact that they can't do what they want over in China. So I don't know if they're gonna let them see a
Yeah.
Japanese movie. It's like they made that in Japan. Those
Yeah.
guys suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like these good old Transformers movies and make $1 million on those things.
Are they why Avatar is number one? Who caused this? Who caused
Do you wanna
Avatar to be
know?
number one?
can
Well,
look
it's
it up right now.
it's the 3D.
So I have it pulled up.
It actually
right here.
was the 3D. To be
Number
honest.
one is Avatar.
So dumb.
Number two is Titanic.
Avatar is not even a good movie. It's not even good.
You're not wrong.
The animation for it's great, but the storyline is not very good. It's ridiculous.
Number three is Force Awakens. Number four is Infinity War.
Number 5 is Endgame.
No, it's
No,
Jurassic
5 is Jurassic World.
Wait, no, Endgame passed it.
And it's about to pass
It's
it.
about to.
Oh, I thought it did.
Not yet. It's at
Just about to.
1.64, and Jurassic World's at 71. So it's about to.
It's gonna. I mean, it's gonna.
By
happen.
next weekend, literally,
It'll-
if Endgame isn't at like 2, I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I'm ready for it to pass Titanic. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Infinity War didn't pass The Force Awakens or Titanic.
It was
weird, yeah.
close. It was like it's at 2,000,000,048.
Yeah, but it's
So-
not going to go
It
up
was
anymore.
68. Yeah.
I mean,
You have to go to number 40 on the list of top grossing movies before like you get out of the billions.
Yeah.
I 100% anticipate that Detective Pikachu could be in that.
yeah, I think
There's
it's
no
just
way
like-
that it can't. pass some
So
of these movies.
domestically, Avatar made $760 million, which was only 27.3% of its overall gross, because it made literally $2 billion international.
Yeah, I figured. I was like,
Um,
why is it so big?
That's insane, though.
When it breaks down the numbers, let's see. So one of the highest ones was Australia. Australia had $105 million. China contributed $204 million. France had 175 million. Germany was 162 million. Japan put 171 million. Russia did 117 million. South Korea 111.
Where are
Spain
these-
109.
Where are these Russians getting the money to pay for
United
the movie?
Kingdom $150 million. So I mean, it's a sprinkle.
Yeah,
It's
that
pretty
movie
cool.
had a little bit more of a shotgun effect than I think Endgame does, and I don't think Endgame's gonna get it. I'm sad to say.
You don't think it's gonna be?
What?
I don't think Endgame's gonna get
Dude,
Avatar. I mean,
It's barely been a week, and it's already made 1 point. It's been a
Yeah.
week.
Yeah,
It's
but at this point, we
1.6.
were also talking about how Endgame was gonna get it, and Endgame is still 7 billion. I mean, 7 million behind it, 700 million behind it.
What do you mean? Wait,
Like Endgame, we all thought Endgame was gonna get Avatar. We all thought Endgame was gonna catch it. We always talk. I mean,
this
people,
is Endgame. Are you talking about Infinity
I
War?
mean, Infinity War. Yeah,
Okay.
we were all talking
Oh.
about last time how Infinity War was gonna catch up and get Avatar, and it didn't. Like, it didn't even get close.
You're not wrong, but at the same time, Infinity War.
This
also,
tracking is unprecedented.
That's
Yeah.
like
that's fair.
it shattered so many records. Like I was gonna write an article on it, but like it was so insane.
Yeah.
Like, do you know? So it's 1.22 is the biggest opening box office. Do you know what the second one was?
What?
What the second biggest opening
What?
movie was?
What?
It was Infinity War. Do you want to know how much it made?
How much?
$640 million.
Oh,
opening
wow.
week,
So Endgame doubled it in
Yeah.
its
That's
first weekend.
crazy.
Yeah.
and it's only been a week.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what it's going to do in its second week now that
Yeah.
more people are actually able to go see? Because
How many people? How many people skipped Infinity War then?
I don't know.
Because it sounds like a lot of
Yeah.
people were just like, "Yeah, I'll just watch Endgame.
Yeah.
Get the same gist."
Yeah.
A lot of people-
Literally, can we talk about that for a second? I can't I know in our spoiler or non-spoiler talk, we didn't talk about this, but we should. Is like, if you are not a big fan of the MCU and have skipped around movies or haven't really watched all of them and are just like, I'm gonna go see Endgame and because everybody wants to go see it.
yeah,
And then you come out and you're just like, that made no sense to me. Like, this isn't good. Like, this movie isn't for you. Like,
That's
if
exactly the case, yeah.
if you haven't committed time to following the story of these characters, it's not going to be for you. Like, that's just what it is. And that's not in a way to be like, oh, this movie isn't for you. Like, sometimes like we make memes out of certain
This
movies.
movie's only for white
Like-
people. No, I'm just kidding.
oh my God.
Like, but it's like it's not gonna like resonate with you because it requires you to be a part of the universe. It requires you
Definitely.
to be a part of these characters, and if you're not with that, then a lot of this isn't gonna resonate with you.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Spoiler warning. 3. I'm gonna spoil something.
Okay.
2, 1. That Captain America scene will make no sense to anyone,
Yeah.
and no one will care.
Which one?
The one where he grabs Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
No one will care if they haven't seen any other
Yeah.
movies.
They're just like, oh, cool. He got
It's
a
like
hammer.
whoa, he
Yeah.
got a hammer. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, why does this matter? But
Yeah.
if you've seen all the movies, you're like, we need to get an R rating for our podcast so we can have an when
I
we're
like that last week I was the one that was like throwing swear words
I
everywhere.
know.
when we're
That was
famous.
That was a shock.
When we're famous, we have to have like a director's cut where Jay Clay just keeps in.
There
all
are
the
some podcasts
inappropriate
that just
parts.
swear. It is what it is. It's SoundCloud, dude. It ain't YouTube.
No,
No, you-
we'll have a family
here's the
friendly
thing
one
is-
and then a non family friendly one.
Here's the thing is, I know what I can say and what I can't say because my parents are listening. I don't care what the rest of you guys say.
My mommy watches.
I don't want to be that kid because I was that kid in middle school on the bus. I'd be like, hey, no, don't swearing. And then I got bullied the rest of my 6th grade year.
I got taught the F word in 2nd grade. And I remember going home and telling my mom, I was like, my friend told me that there's a word like duck and it means like a bird. He said it was a, and then I said the word. And then I was like, and he said that it's like an ostrich in the sky, so it's really big. And my mom was like, no, John, that's just the word for what mommies and daddies do. And I was like, oh.
She said that?
Yeah. I remember because she knew like I didn't have bad intentions.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a
That's
good friend.
interesting.
What a good friend. It's like I always think about now when I learned all the cuss words, and F word was one of the first ones I learned.
Really?
Like, yeah, I learned like the A, B, D, all from my mom and my dad having fights, like we all do. We all learn the basic ones from mom and dad.
Sure.
But then like the F and like C, those big boys, the big boys.
Those are big boy
the
words.
big boys.
Especially
You know what's interesting? So my parents don't swear that often. Obviously, it's in Spanish, but like they don't really swear that often, even when they argue.
Yeah.
Like our house, like we don't swear in front of our parents at all. Like
Yeah.
we don't swear with each other. I've never sweared at my siblings. Like that's not something we do. We might do that like if we're like frustrated at like something
Sure.
else, but like yeah, it's not one of those things. So like when I swear, I become very casual. So or I just feel very strongly about something. So like it'll just come out. So I'm not like swearing all the time. Obviously that's not my personality, but like it is one of those things that it's really interesting because like I don't know what were the first few swear words. I used to say damn a lot when I was a kid, and I didn't really think that was a swear word.
Yeah.
But like that's one of those borderline words where
Yeah.
like if you're like a parent and you see like your 5-year-old be like damn, and you're like
I just imagine 5-year-old Abel going, damn.
How's preschool going for little Jimmy? Shit.
No, but do you know any Spanish curse words?
a lot.
Can you teach us?
I don't know if that's the podcast we need to make right now.
It's
Yeah,
free
come
talk.
on.
It's free talk.
Come on, no. We
It's
got to
free
talk
talk.
about
What?
we got to talk about best coffee brand. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Starbucks
Well,
sucks.
Starbucks is here.
Dude,
Mr.
Starbucks
Starbucks. How's
sucks.
Starbucks going?
Oh, do you want to know about Starbucks? Well, funny you should ask. On Monday, we actually just dropped like a bunch of our new like summer frappuccinos, and that's like the s'mores one.
You.
Yeah, and so that like last night was so busy. Usually Thursdays we have a happy hour, but we didn't have one last night. But we were still like, it wasn't busy. It was just steady throughout the drive-through all night. So it was hard to really like get things closed down for a while because I only work closing just because of class and whatnot.
Right.
But yeah, it
It's
was
raining like crazy.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
great. No, but yeah, it was just weird last night. But yeah, I haven't even had the new frappuccino. I don't like frappuccinos in the first place, and let me tell you why. Because they are so obnoxious to make sometimes. Like, here's the thing: is ironically enough, before I worked at Starbucks, the only thing I got from Starbucks was a mocha frappuccino because I didn't know what else to get. It was something that my grandma got me when I was like in 4th grade, and I thought it was pretty good. And so it was really the only thing I ever got. But then I started working at Starbucks, and I was like, hey, there's some actually pretty good stuff here.
Yeah.
And over time, it was just like, they're not fun to make anymore, so I don't really want to. I make so many. It's like popcorn from the Warren, I make so many of them that I don't want to drink them anymore.
Yeah, I don't like Starbucks at all. I just realized though, like a couple weeks ago, that there are people who are crazy about like Starbucks
they're
stuff.
insane.
Like
Yeah.
there's people who love getting every drink. Like when a drink comes out, it's like
It's crazy how
it's like
specific
it's like a
people
movie
get.
coming out for some people. Like when a like, oh, did you guys hear
Well,
the
I will say that.
the blah 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 is going back on sale? Oh my gosh,
well, here's
I
the
have
thing,
to get it.
especially with the s'mores. The s'mores is usually like their big summer one, and 2 summers ago, they had it, but last summer they didn't. And so the fact that they were bringing it back this year, I think was kind of a big deal.
And people are hyped about it. It's like it's a movie release or something, though. And I didn't even realize that people did that with food until I realized that people were freaking out when the nacho fries were coming back to Taco Bell.
McRibs.
Yeah.
Okay, McRib, though. That's
McRib is gross.
What are you talking
The
about?
McRib is disgusting. Like, I had one bite of a McRib, and I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. This is awful. Okay, but the nacho fries.
The nacho fries aren't half bad.
That's a good deal.
They're not half bad.
They
Yeah.
had that nacho fries box. Ooh.
Do you think that fast food, because obviously like McDonald's and Burger King and all them like have been around for forever.
Right.
There are some suggestions that like if you were like a advertising, like they should bring back old things that they used to make, like back in the day, like 80s, 90s popular foods, and then be like for once in a while, like a limited time.
Those
They'd be like,
foods
I
suck,
feel like-
though.
I feel like they
Everything in
have
the
done
80s
that.
and 90s would taste terrible
They
now.
did that with the Szechuan sauce.
yeah, right. We were saying at work, we were talking about do you remember that documentary, Super Size Me?
Yeah, I
From
never saw it,
Health?
but yeah.
Did you ever see it?
No.
So like back in the day, so during the 80s and 90s, McDonald's would have this thing that was called like the super size,
Yeah.
and it was basically like a bigger large like drink. So like it would be massive, and you would have like this huge meal of like fries
Yeah.
and like whatever. Like
Yeah.
it would be insane, and it was only like 50 cents more. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't even that expensive.
Yeah.
And it was like insane. People were going crazy for it. And so one guy did a documentary that he called Super Size Me,
Uh-huh.
where he dedicated a whole month of just eating McDonald's breakfast,
Ugh.
lunch, and dinner.
Ugh.
Everything
He got fat.
for a month. And he got super fat. So
Yeah.
he documented everything from his weight. Like he took health screenings every week. And he like documented every day, every week, kind of like how he was feeling.
Yeah.
And like he just felt awful. Like
Yeah.
he said, like over time, it
Well,
just
like,
felt slower.
Beef in general, just like
Yeah.
if you eat beef all the time, like
Mhm.
you're just gonna feel gross. Like
Yeah,
I like beans and rice a lot
Yeah.
because beans and rice, you know, like you feel energetic
Yeah,
after you
it's
eat like
protein.
a good beans
Yeah.
and rice meal.
Mhm.
But like eating beef all the time, man,
And
like
it's-
you gotta mix it with chicken, you gotta mix it with rice, you gotta mix
Mhm.
it with beans, you gotta mix it with like, you know, vegetables. You can't be eating beef all the time because beef is just well, first of all, that's why Americans have heart attacks
Sure.
like so much.
No, yeah, totally.
Like it's cardiovascular system destroyer. But yeah.
But yeah, what's crazy about that documentary show, like they made it and they made it public, and like
Mhm.
it was a huge thing for McDonald's because they're
Yeah.
like, oh shit, like
yeah.
this does not look good for us, and so they stopped doing the Super Size Me. But like, and they still teach that in health classes.
Yeah.
Like it shows like how crazy like fast food is, and how
Yeah.
like if you do it so much, and how catastrophic it can be.
Sure.
Definitely.
And so yeah, and so we were talking about that at work because like that was something that they did back in the day, and
Yeah.
like some people like in health class like they don't.
Well,
teach
and that's why
you
they have
pay
calorie
attention, but-
counts on all their
yeah.
things now. And that's
Mhm.
what's really good about fast food now. Well, and fast food's not great in general. I mean,
Right.
fast food is a thing that you should enjoy a lot when you do it,
Mhm.
but like
But
do
it
it
shouldn't be
very
all the
yeah,
only thing.
moderation. Definitely moderation. Like once a week, twice a week. Don't do it every day of the week.
Yeah.
Don't like make fast food like a I'm, you know, super busy today,
Yeah.
or I got off work
Yeah.
at 10.
Yeah.
Like that's the times you should do it, not every day, you know.
Mhm.
Definitely.
I do fast food usually as a reward for like if I run like 5 miles faster than I usually do.
Oh.
But like I need to, you know, I have been really watching my food intake recently, and it's definitely an important thing. So all you screenmen out there, yeah, this is your health talk for today.
Yeah. Beware.
If you go to McDonald's, get the McChicken. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. McChicken's gross.
Is it?
Their
I think
chicken.
so.
Okay, their chicken.
I think chicken and Chick-fil-A is like really unhealthy chicken, but it is the
But it's-
best. It
yeah.
is the best chicken, like
It's
hands
very-
down.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Wendy's makes a good chicken sandwich.
I don't know.
Have you
I'd
ever-
always.
Pickles.
I.
They're pretty good.
I need pickles on everything. Like
Oh,
if
yeah.
I get a sandwich, I need pickles on it.
I'm one of
Subway
those-
pickles.
I'm one of those people who will order pickles on my Chick-fil-A sandwich. I'm very basic when I go to Chick-fil-A. I'll just get the number one
Mhm.
fries.
Mhm.
And I'll get the pickle on it, but I'll take the pickle because I don't like pickles, but I like the little pickle juice residue that it leaves on the bun. I think it's pretty good.
That's gross. I like the
gro-
pickles a lot. I don't
Yeah.
know. I guess
I love pickles.
dude,
Like,
pickles are
a lot.
so good.
The spear pickles.
When
when we worked at the Warren, or when I worked at the
Oh
Warren.
yeah, yeah. Well, we all
and
worked
we'd
at
get
the
the
Warren.
sandwich shit. We would get the sandwiches, and like they would have the spear pickle.
Oh yeah.
I'd be upset if they didn't put the spear pickle in it, and I'd be like, "What the heck, dude?" That
Bro,
was-
at the Warren, I always either got pizza or cheese fries, so I never had the spear pickle.
You know
Or
what
chick-
I did?
chicken strips. I had kids'
I
chicken.
mixed the best of both worlds. I got the kids' chicken strips with cheese fries instead of regular fries, and it was a little bit cheaper than like doing both.
Yeah.
I like the kids
Because it's like in a
strips
few like extra cent, right, or something like
It's
that.
like
to
something
get
like that.
It's like $6 and then $3 for us.
Yeah.
It's weird because like cheese fries are really good, but then like sometimes they do it really weird and then it sets really weird.
Yeah.
I always get no bacon. I always ask for no bacon because the bacon was gross.
And then another thing I did was I learned all the tricks on how to like ball on a budget there.
Maximize, yeah.
Yeah, so what I did was I would ask for like either 1 scoop or 2 scoops of vanilla ice cream. And that's
Ew.
like $2-3. Then I would go over to concessions when going on my break and get just like a free cup of root beer. Then go upstairs, mix them both.
I actually do remember you doing that.
Yeah, because their root beer floats are like $6.
Yeah.
And then $3 when you get our discount. But then the scoop of ice cream is like $1.50 or something, plus the free root beer. I'm balling on a budget.
The true ball on a budget for me of all time is like in general to like get frozen pizza. Like
Oh yeah, and mac and cheese.
frozen pizza and like so you get your own meat. You get like the worst frozen pizza with like just cheese. And then you like cut up your own bacon and put it on there, and cut up your own tomatoes and put it on there.
You know that they have
Pretty
frozen pizzas that have the meat
Yeah,
on
but
there.
those cost more. And then
Not
all
necessarily.
the cheap ones are always just like beef or something gross. Like it's Tony's beef pizza, $2, but the beef tastes like your grandmother's ass.
But you know what's really cool is like frozen pizza that you like make obviously in your oven. Like it actually has this unique taste that's
It
different
does.
than any of the other pizzas.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
That still kind of is good because you're kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
What I do is I'll go to like Walmart or Target and just stock up on 99-cent mac and cheese boxes.
Mm.
And then on its own, it's not the best.
Yeah.
But what I do is I'll add I'll add a little extra butter, extra shredded cheese to get it really cheesy. And then I usually add a little bit of like Tony's Creole seasoning just for like a little extra flavor in there.
Mm-hmm.
Super good.
Ult-
And
Sorry.
no, you're fine. Go ahead.
Ultimate grocery food store though is pomegranates. I will just like get a pomegranate and take
Really?
it home and cut it up.
Really?
And eat it, dude. Pomegranates are so filling, and they're like $3. It's like a whole meal.
Hmm.
Dude, yeah, and they're water, so you don't have to drink like a cup of water while you're eating it because it's so much water in it. It's like, dude, you can just eat a pomegranate. If it was the zombie apocalypse and I had to go to the grocery store and grab like a fruit to survive on for like a week, I'd grab pomegranate and I guess I'd grab honey too, because you can you can survive off of honey for like ever, because it's got water in it and then it's got like enough food resource to keep you alive.
Right.
So honey's like the ultimate zombie apocalypse. But my first week, I would grab some pomegranates for enjoyment. And also because they're pretty healthy. Well, they're not like super healthy. It's a fruit, so it's got a lot of sugar, but it's better than like a lot of things. So. But pomegranates, man, people are missing out. I hear nobody ever talks about pomegranates. Pomegranates and apples are like the ultimate
Ooh,
like
apples are good,
sustenance
yeah.
food. Like if you're just on the run, man, an apple, that's got water, that's
Helps a
got
lot.
food, ooh, oranges.
Oranges are good.
I know. There's just a lot of fruit. Now I'm thinking about fruit.
How did we go from talking about Sonic the Hedgehog to pomegranates?
It all really connects pretty easily. Sonic is a restaurant, a fast food place that sucks.
It is not.
Sonic is the worst.
You're the worst.
Arby's, I guess. Arby's and Burger King are worse than Sonic. but-
Arby's is pretty bad.
Dude, Arby's is terrible.
The only thing that makes Arby's relevant is their curly fries.
The only thing that makes Arby's relevant is that there's one on like every corner. I don't understand who the hell's going to Arby's. H. John Benjamin's going to Arby's. What the heck? Archer's going to Arby's.
I've never went to New Way. But
What? You've
that's
never been to
alright.
New Way?
Yeah.
New Way is really good. It's super
it's
old
bad.
school.
It's like
Oh, shut
basically
up.
just go home, cook some beef, and pour grease all over it, and then put it
That's not
between
true.
two buns. You got New Way.
That's not
That's
true.
literally
It's-
it. That's
it's-
literally it. They
Okay, but
literally
their
just
root beer. Have you had their root beer?
their root beer is the only thing that makes going there worth it. Like they have decent curly cheese fries, and they have really good root beer.
Go
and
to
their
New Way.
their burgers are like eating my ass.
That's not true. Their burger. That's not true. Their burgers are actually pretty good. It's,
No.
it's local. It's old school. try it.
If you're gonna eat local, go to Picasso's. Picasso's Pizzeria is the bomb.com.
Carl's Jr. is pretty good, but they're really expensive. Like
It
it's
is.
way more expensive than
never
it
been to-
should be.
I've never been to Carl's Jr. or Hardee's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually really good, but it is really expensive. Like me and my mom went, and it was literally $20
Yeah.
for
What?
just 2 people. Yeah,
What?
that was insane.
That's crazy.
Where like I went to Brahms, and Brahms is like underrated. Like Brahms actually
No, I
makes.
can't stand
Brahms
Brahms.
has
Really?
good, they have
I
good
can't
chicken
stand Brahms.
strips. They have good
Yeah, they
chicken
do.
strips.
It
That's
feels
actually
weird
what,
walking in. Like the employees are like, get the damn out
they
of
have
here.
good.
But
they-
their burgers are actually really good. Like the beef patty is actually pretty decent.
I've never had a burger there.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Like I actually recommend it, and their like fries are like wavy fries, so
Mm-hmm.
it's actually really good. And like 2 like double pound like it's like $12. It's really good like economically. And it's like
they're like tubs of ice cream. They're liter tubs of ice cream.
mhm.
They are so like frozen. It takes forever for them to thaw out when
Oh.
you get home and want ice cream.
Yeah, I don't get ice cream from there. I don't get ice cream in general unless it's like I don't know. Like,
Anytime I go, I get their what do they call it? The mixes.
I like their
So like
frozen
the
yogurt.
Reese's
It's
Pieces
all
one
right.
is pretty good.
Yeah.
M&M's was good.
I really like frozen yogurt more than I like ice cream. I don't know. I feel
Yeah,
more
frozen
satisfied.
yo-
I feel
Oh,
more satisfied.
I was sad when they shut down Orange Leaf, and I was like,
I'd only been there like
mm.
once, so I couldn't really.
It's softer. Like you don't feel like you have to chew on
Yeah.
it, which is nice. I don't know. I don't like chewing on ice cream. It's like I'd rather just like eat soft ice cream.
You guys remember on April Fools when they said that we were getting an In-N-Out here in Wichita, and
No.
everyone really thought it was real?
I didn't hear about
I
that.
didn't hear about that either.
Yeah, on April Fools, there was on Facebook at least there was this thing talking about how like an In-N-Out was coming to Wichita, and everyone thought it was the real deal because they were all like, "Oh, but it didn't come out on April 1st." It did though.
Who the heck cares though? We have like 9 burger restaurants already. Like, if you want a burger, Five Guys is probably got the best burger.
But that's all the way
If you want,
downtown.
if you want the experience of In-N-Out, Freddy's is literally the exact same thing.
It's true.
No, there's one on the east side.
Oh,
There's
is
one
there?
on Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live like right next door.
Rock and where?
Like 21st. No, 29th. Yeah, 29th. It's right across from my GameStop.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like I look at it when I work.
Oh,
It's right across the street from Chipotle, actually.
Wait, you work at GameStop?
And a Crestview Country Club.
Oh.
I have 2 jobs because I'm a hardworking mom.
How's
trying to take
how's
care of my
GameStop?
kids. Oh, it's great. It's better than Crestview for sure.
Wait, really?
Oh.
Oh, I love GameStop. Yeah.
What's wrong with Crestview? I thought you really wanted that
No,
job.
it sucks, dude. It's
You
like,
really wanted that job?
I really
though.
wanted the job until I realized it sucks. Bro, it's like all the time. These jerk member. It's so busy. It's so busy
it?
all the time. We have tournaments. It's crazy busy. It's the most busy country club in like the state of Kansas.
Probably.
I know it actually is. Like it has the most business. We have the most members, and we have tournaments every week. So it's crazy busy all the time. They only have like 1 guy on staff, so you're always just by yourself doing all this work, and the members are jerks. So like
Yeah,
while
you're
you're
dealing with old rich white people.
while
of
you're
course they're
hustling
jerks.
around trying to get everything done, these old men will come up to you. Why is there no cards in the tee box at 1? That's ridiculous. I didn't even know there was a tee box at 1. This guy's like freaking out. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna tell your manager." Okay, yeah, sure, tell my manager. I want to lose this job. This is a job I want out of, and it pays minimum wage, which is BS.
Oh, yeah?
Because they expect you to get tipped, like they said on the Indeed survey thing. They said $10 an hour, and that's because they think you're gonna get tipped.
Wow.
But you
And
don't,
you
do you?
never get tipped. Like
Whoa.
I on an average day, I probably get like $2 in tips. It's like,
What?
oh yeah. One day I got 20, but literally every other day it's like 2 to 4.
Dang.
And so it's like, oh yeah, this is so not worth it. This is so not
Then
worth
why don't
it.
you just leave?
Tyler always wanted to apply at GameStop, but like there are some people that don't like GameStop.
GameStop. So
like-
for a lot of people, the reason I don't like GameStop, I love GameStop, but there is a reason I don't like GameStop, and it's only because I get like 10 hours a week. Like even on a good week, I don't get like 10
yeah.
hours.
What do
Some
they
weeks,
pay?
for me right now, $8.50. I got. They basically just said we'll give you what the warrant was giving you, just to be fair, because like that's what's fair. And the warrant gave me $8.50 when I left, so they were like $8.50 it is, and so it's fine.
I thought you were trying to
Don't
become like
others
a
get
key holder.
lower?
I'm trying to promote to key holder. It's not easy though. Key holders make 13. You make
That's
a
not bad.
lot more as key holder, and you get like 20 hours a week. So that's what I want. But you have to work your way up there and be good enough at sales to do that. and I don't know if I'm good enough at sales. Or you have to have been there for like 5 years, and I've been there for like half a year. But I'm trying to get promoted. That's like that's what I love about GameStop actually is like, and a lot of jobs like this, I feel like a lot of jobs people get stuck in and hate are because you're stuck. You're like minimum wage employee for 10 years. And that's how the Warren was.
Yep.
Like you could get promoted, but the chances were slim to none. And
oh, trust me, Abel and I know about that.
like even getting shift supervisor,
moving.
it's like moving up,
sand.
like, yeah, it's moving up like 1%. You're getting like literally 25 cents more. And they, you know, like your only thing is that you don't have to be a scrub lord.
Oh.
If I went back to the Warren, I could be a shifts. I mean, I could be an in charge all the time, but I wouldn't.
Here's the thing, though, is going back and seeing Endgame, I saw all those kids. None of them would listen, probably, to me.
No.
They would listen to me.
Did you hear?
I'm a
so
hard ass.
I heard that you can't tell them to do things anymore when
What?
you're in charge, because since we're technically paid the same, you don't have an authority over them. So you technically can't be like, you have to do this. You have to suggest
That's
them
the
to do.
role of the in charge, though. That's the only joy that I got out of that job was being able to tell people what to do.
Bro, being in charge was literally the best part of that job because
really
I
was.
would be in charge of floor, and I was just an ass.
So was I.
Dude, I was
So was
I was so
I.
good though. Will loved me. Will loved when I was in charge. He would be so happy Days Bryce scheduled me in charge. And I remember because Will didn't like me that much, but he knew I'd get shit done. And so Will would call something over the walkie. It'd get done instantly because I would immediately like siphon out my crew to get everything done. And I ended up a lot of times on floor, I would clean theaters by myself because I'd have my crew doing everything else. And it was nice. Sometimes I do.
Efficient.
Sometimes I do things on my own. Like sometimes it'd be like, go change Mylars out front because one of these needs changed, and I'd be like, yeah, I'll go do that. You guys get whatever. But if I'd ever get behind on drops, people just clean theaters by themselves. I remember I was working Black Panther, and I had 9 people, and every single one of them was working cleaning a different theater at one time.
Really?
Yeah, and it was just because like I'm not gonna keep my crew together and stay behind. So clean the theater quick. And I took I took the hardest theater myself because I trusted myself more than I trusted any of them.
Sure. Yeah.
And one of them got Ice Age and then just stood out in front, like he got the easy Ice Age collision course or whatever, and he finished it, and then he just stood outside of 14, and I'm like, dude, we're all cleaning theaters. But I was not easy on any of my crew ever.
Will always schedule. I was always in charge of floor on Friday nights, regardless.
Oh
of
my
what it
gosh,
was.
me too. Right after, like when you were gone, I started getting Friday nights.
And Will always got on me because, like, at the end of the night, I was so bored, and you have to be there till like 1 a.m. And so I would sit down, and he always got on me for sitting down and being on my phone. But he always he obviously trusted me to get things done. So there was respect there. But yeah, that was like a blessing and a curse to like yell at people because
I never yelled at people.
I didn't yell at people. I was just like I just didn't like.
I was
if you didn't do your job, I was just gonna like you were not gonna be on my.
You're
crew.
just gonna do chores.
Yeah, like
That's how I handled things.
Allie. So Allie, she would never do anything when she was on my crew, and they would never do anything when they were on my crew. And so
You're gonna laugh if they hear this.
I do
Like,
totally.
Whoa, dude.
It's fine. They would never do
Wow,
anything on
these
my
guys
crew.
are assholes.
And so I would, at the end of the night, after we got done, I would tell them to clean concessions instead of doing chores.
Wow.
Dude, because chores are easy. Like,
Yeah.
chores are so much better than cleaning concessions. So I'd be like, yeah, go help concessions. They'd be like, no. And I'd be like, yeah,
do it.
yeah. Will called. And then one night, what was his name?
Oh, I know.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He was on his phone every night. And so one night, Will needed one person to go to concessions and be clocked in concessions. Easy pick.
Yeah.
Easy pick. It didn't take me a second.
Everybody has those like easy choices when you're like, oh, you have to put somebody on.
When
register,
Riley was on my crew,
and we're like, oh no.
when Riley, Brandon's brother, was on my crew, easy pick.
Yeah.
He's going to concessions.
Yeah. It's like. You
Brandon's
just have to be competent, guys. Like, it's not that hard. You just gotta show effort.
Yeah, dude, and like to be liked by me, you literally just have to do the job.
Just do things.
Like do what I did when I was in your position, and I will like you. Because like I just did the job. Like I wasn't lazy, but I also didn't like work super hard because at a minimum wage job, if you're working hard, you're doing something wrong because you're not making enough money to be working your ass off.
Trust me, I know.
Dude, it's not like
Are
literally.
you minimum wage at Best Buy?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Dude, he makes like $100.
I make $12 an hour.
Oh, $12 an hour.
I'm comfortable.
Abel comes
Very
in with
comfortable.
45-pound weights. Yeah, I make $12 an hour.
I'm very comfortable.
Flexing on the boys.
Yeah.
Thankfully, thank you, Best Buy.
Is Best Buy nice?
Like,
is
it's
it good?
super nice.
I'm jealous.
Super nice.
Working in food is the worst.
Yeah.
And
It really
so I
is.
know Best Buy has to be better than working in
Yeah.
food. And that's why I
don't
like
think
GameStop.
dirty. I literally, the earliest I come in sometimes is 12 o'clock.
Oh my gosh.
And then the latest we close at 9.
Bro, hook a man up. No,
Dude.
just kidding.
We had it open, so I work in appliances now because I
Yeah.
used to work on theater, and now I moved over to appliances, and it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And they had a part-time open because a guy left to work at one of like the airplane places.
Oh, nice.
And so we had a spot open for like a month.
Oof.
But
I missed.
they missed it. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
And everybody
they've been
wants that job,
hiring
though.
a couple of positions, and our store physically has been doing really well.
Yeah.
So we might actually have more positions open since
Yeah.
we're doing really well and might need it, especially during the summer. We
Yeah.
open stuff. So I don't know. Check out that hiring page.
You work on the west side, though,
Yeah,
right?
I do.
Nice.
Mhm.
Dude, GameStop.
Which is funny because I didn't think I was applying to the West store. I
Yeah.
thought I was applying to the East store.
Oof.
And so when I was checking applications, and I would check like the phone number,
Mhm.
and like I checked the East store's number, so I saved it so in case they would like
Mhm.
call me, I would
Mhm.
know because
Mhm.
I don't pick up for random numbers.
Yeah, definitely.
And so it wasn't until I went on my trip to California that we were going from Las Vegas, I think, back to not San Francisco, like LA. And it occurred to me then that I was like, wait, there's more than one Best Buy in Wichita.
I didn't even realize there was one on the west side.
Yeah,
Like,
and so I searched up the phone number,
yeah.
and I was like, how weird would it be that they would be the ones to call me?
Yeah.
And they did
Oh,
a
shoot.
week ago.
Oh, shoot.
And I was like, oh no. And so I had to call back, and I was like, hey, I'm sorry, like this took late, like I'm out of town or whatever.
Mhm.
And they thankfully were like, oh yeah, no, it's fine. If you want, we can schedule an interview. We saw your application or whatever.
Yeah.
And they like gracefully gave me an interview, and I was like, whew. And so I had 2 interviews. I had one with the GM first, which wasn't usually how you do. You usually do the sales manager and then the GM.
Yeah.
But the sales manager was out for that time, so I met the GM first, and he was really cool. He was really chill. We got along really well. And then I met the sales manager, and I pretty much stealed it.
Yeah.
And so that was really cool. And then I was like, whew, thankfully.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so I've really liked it. It's been like almost a year now,
Yeah.
and I haven't even felt it.
Yeah.
It's very weird. I still
It's-
feel new for some reason.
Wesley worked on for like as a season.
Yeah,
as
him
a
and Tyler both
seasonal.
did seasonal
Yeah,
at the East
on the
store.
East one, which is
Yeah,
seasonal's a weird thing. GameStop does seasonal.
Mhm. It's weird because you're basically applying for a job that you know is temporary.
Yeah.
Unless you do really well, in which
Yeah.
case then they're like, oh, maybe we'll stay. But
GameStop brought on last fall. We had like 3 people leave right before I got on, and then I got pulled on. And then we brought on 3 seasonals, and we only let go of one of them. And he knows that he was the only one let go of,
Yeah.
and he was terrible.
Oh,
like
yeah.
like everybody who works at GameStop right now is amazing.
Yeah.
And we had one guy who was not amazing, and he's gone. And it's like, wow, this crew is literally the coolest. Like, you know, when you just have like no one you dislike on your entire like staff.
Sure.
Like at the Warren, that was not a thing for me. Like,
Yeah.
I was not mad. I didn't dislike a ton of people.
Sure.
Like, and I wasn't outward about it.
No.
But there was like internally, there was like, yeah, okay, there's a lot of lazy people who I don't like.
Sure. I don't know. So when I was ever in charge, so my approach whenever I was in charge was very relaxed.
Yeah.
And whenever I had to deal with employees that I knew lacked effort,
Yeah.
I was always very like nice about it.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
always like, "Hey, could you do this for me?" Like, I did really appreciate it. And then that's funny because I talked to Aaron, and we're the flip-flop opposite. Like, Aaron will tell them to do things, and he'll never be like, thanks for it. Like, I'll always say, oh, thanks for doing that for
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'll make it feel like you know, like because I was thankful that you did your job.
Yeah.
So, like, I will always be, like, positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
Like that's how I
Yeah.
would do things. And people like it didn't matter. Like it's funny because a lot of other in charges have like horror stories of like the worst employees that worked there.
Yeah.
And how they would never do things or they
Yeah.
talk back to them. I was never that person. Like
Yeah.
I'd always be really cool with whoever it was.
Yeah.
Because I always had that approach with me. So whenever I got really stressed, like I would always be like, guys, we gotta move. Like let's go.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we're falling behind.
Yeah.
And that won't be good for anybody.
Yeah.
So like there were only a few instances where I literally I remember one time when we were kind of falling behind and in the theater I was like, God, like I literally yelled, like,
Yeah.
we gotta go. Like,
Yeah.
and that like even like for a second I was like, oh shoot, that was louder than I thought it was gonna be. But like yeah, I only remember a few instances where I was really upset at how we were doing.
I only lost it once. Like
Yeah.
I was usually like I was nice at first, and then the more you got on my nerves, the harder I would be. And one time I had a crew. I already named off names.
Sure.
But I'm not gonna name off these names.
Yeah.
But they were standing in the theater talking, and it was when Black Panther was out. And I was hustling around. It was like opening weekend or soon. Like it was a Saturday on opening weekend. It was in the morning, so it wasn't like night, but it was still busy as heck.
Sure.
And we're hustling and we're trying to get theaters done. No, this was during Jumanji. This was that Christmas during Jumanji. That was just crazy busy.
Yeah.
And we're hustling getting theaters done, and I lose like half my crew. I'm like, where'd my crew go? Like, and we are, so I send them to go do a theater. I'm looking for the rest of my crew. I'm like, where the heck did my crew go? Because like we cannot do this with 3 people.
Yeah.
Like we're like falling way behind.
Yeah.
And I find like 6 people just standing around and talking in Auditorium 16. I know maybe they were like just lost, maybe they were just behind, but we'd cleaned 16 like 2 minutes ago, and they were just standing there talking, like not doing anything.
Yeah.
And I lost it.
Yeah.
Like vehemently cussed for like 3 minutes and yelled like crazy. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
This is like literally the worst time to do this. Like every other time I'm fine with this, but right now, like we are dying and you are totally abandoning the 3 people who are working super hard.
Yeah.
And so I lost it, and I got a talk from Will about how you can't lose it.
Right. Yeah.
That was a weird talk. I'd never had a talk with Will about Will being like, you cannot do that to your employees. And I was like, yeah, sorry. That's my bad.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to wrap it up for us real quick. Is there anything that you guys want to say last minute before we head off?
Detective Pikachu comes out next week. Please go see it. It looks really good. Have a fun time.
Support movies. Support video games. Buy indie games like Celeste, which is an amazing game.
Yeah.
All right.
If you haven't played indie games, put down your AAA purchasing and go buy 3 indie games for the exact same price as 1 AAA game.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
there you go.
There you go.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today's episode of the Screenmen Society Podcast. Thanks for listening, everyone. As always, you can follow us on Twitter at ScreenmenSoc or on Facebook or subscribe to our YouTube channel. We promise content is going to come soon. We're just kind of dry right now with ideas and school. It's just a weird time.
We're working on our Fortnite Let's Plays.
Oh,
which
yeah,
has
for
been
sure.
really tough to just Let's Play Fortnites are really hard to edit.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Is there anything that you guys want to plug before we head out?
No.
John, anything from Model Gaming?
Go watch my newest video. It's like at 55 views now.
It's really funny.
I
would
want to
definitely
see
recommend
100. There's bad sound effects, but it was purposeful.
It's
I swear.
hilarious. Definitely go check that out.
Yeah.
That's good.
Used house commercial.
If you like our podcasts, listen to our past podcasts.
Definitely.
There are a lot of cool stuff.
We can do a round of the tournament.
We didn't. It was a free talk today. We'll pick it back. We'll pick it back up next week. Go listen to the rest of our tournament. We're gonna get back to it. I promise. Once we have a solid schedule. But that's gonna wrap it up for today. Thanks again to everyone for listening. And as always, I've been your host Jack Clayton, and we'll see you in the next episode.